Okay, the last part of this chapter is about infectious waste, medical waste, okay? And those who are working in the hospital, they will, I mean, better how we collect the medical waste, okay, how we remove them. And now we know that OSHA regulation apply to human blood, human infectious waste, and other human pathologic waste. And also it is known a medical waste. And for that, we have biohazard containers, as we see in these pictures. These containers should be with a secure lids to prevent leakage during the transports. And also it should be labeled, as we see here, a label of the biohazard. And the other container is a biohazard bags. These plastic bags are appropriate for disposal of the most infectious waste materials, but rigid, impermeable containers should be used for disposable of sharps or broken labware, as I showed you in yesterday. Now, the total medical waste is classified as non-regulated waste, regulated medical waste, and chemical waste. And also we classify the regulated medical waste, which is human blood and other body fluids, is divided into two groups. These are biohazard waste and biohazard sharps that we are using in the daily practice. The control of infectious chemical and radioactive waste is regulated by various government agencies, including OSHA and FDA. And okay, the container that we are using to collect the medical waste should represent some of the characteristics. These are, they should labeled, marked as biohazards, and bear a universal biohazard symbols, as we see here, display the universal color such as orange, orange and black, or red. And these should be rigid, leak-proof, and puncture resistance materials. And there are also cardboard boxes, as we see here. They line it with leak-proof plastic bags. They are available, used for blood and certain body fluids and disposable materials contaminated with blood and fluids. Okay, we also can use such boxes to collect infectious waste. Now, however, for the radioactive waste, there is a separate regulation for that, and Nuclear Regulatory Commission regulate the radioactive waste disposal. We are fortunate because the amount of the radio immunoassays reducing by the time, okay? 10 years ago, most of the hormone tests was performed via radioimmunoassays, but now we have chemiluminescence or ELISA, other techniques that we are using to measure the hormones and other um, um, antibody levels. However, there are some certain tests that we measuring by radioimmunoassays, and we using a radioactive elements, and therefore the collection of them is regulated by a different agencies. Now, this is a good videos that I want that you watch now.
Hello, and welcome to Mary, your cost-effective, compliant medical waste disposal company. Department of Transportation regulations require you to properly package your medical waste before it's collected and transported to a licensed treatment and disposal facility. To make sure that you're in compliance, follow these 3 simple steps to properly package your medical waste. Step 1. Place all sharps in a puncture-resistant sharps box before it's placed in the red biohazard bag. There should be no loose sharps in your biohazard bag or medical waste container.
Sorry, the sound is not good. I am going to increase. I need to. Okay, now I am going to. Okay.
Hello, and welcome to medical waste before it's collected and transported to a licensed treatment and disposal facility. To make sure that you're in compliance, follow these 3 simple steps to properly package your medical waste. Step 1. Place all sharps in a puncture-resistant sharps box before it's placed in the red biohazard bag. There should be no loose sharps in your biohazard bag or medical waste container. Step 2. Once your medical waste bag is full, tie it closed using either the overhand or gooseneck method. To make an acceptable overhand knot, start by gathering up and twisting the bag 8 to 10 inches. Then, make a loop with a twisted end. Finally, bring the twisted end through the loop to create a knot. To make an acceptable gooseneck knot, gather and twist the bag 8 to 10 inches. Then, make a loop with the twisted end. Finally, gather and seal the end tightly with either duct tape or a plastic tie. Remember, tying the bag in a bunny ear fashion is not acceptable as the bag is prone to leaking any liquid inside it if turned upside down. So please, stick to either the overhand or gooseneck methods. Step 3. Now that the biohazard bag is tied shut, securely fasten the lid on the medical waste container. Something like this is what our Mary team members should see when coming to collect your medical waste for disposal. We've prepared a poster for you to hang up by your medical waste transport container so that everyone can be aware of the proper procedure to package it for disposal. If you're interested in obtaining one of these posters, email us at info.
Okay, should be enough. Now, the last part of this lecture is about safety audits. And since we are establishing standards for lab safety or other healthcare facility safeties, it should be audits regularly, right? And therefore, there are about 6 leading laboratory safety issues should be followed during these audits. And these are laboratory codes, fire extinguishers, biosafety cabinets and hoods, and the others. And clean codes must be separated from the codes that are being used, or the fire extinguishers should be in date and not expired. Okay, biosafety cabinets and hoods need to be certificated annually. Eye wash station and safety shower equipments should be close to the staff, at least within the 100 feet. And chemicals must be inventoried annually. And safety data sheets is really important in order to have information about certain chemicals, how we handle it, how we store it and how we can prevent ourselves from such a harmful effect of the chemicals. Okay, now what we can do if we have any accidents. Okay, the basic first aid procedure is important that all the lab staff should know how can help uh, his or her colleagues in such accidents. The first priority should be removal of the accident victims from the further injury. Okay, and uh, and then you can uh, help them for a first aid to the victims. Okay, the rule to remember in dealing with emergency in the laboratory is to keep calm. Okay, this is really important because many injuries may be extreme, and because immediate care is critical in such case, you need to be to keep calm. Okay, and um, the laboratory personnel truly understand the application of the proper first aid procedures in order to help in such cases. Okay, now there are here some examples. Okay, what happens if alkali or acid burns on the skin or in the mouth? Okay, the first things that we should do, rinse thoroughly with a large amount of the running tap water. If serious, consult a physician. Okay, if alkali or acid burns in our eyes, okay, then wash out eyes thoroughly with running waters for a minimum 15 minutes, and help the victims by holding the eyelids open so water can make contact with the eyes. And a physician should be notified immediately with the eye while the eye is being washed. These three um, steps should be done if alkali or acid burns in the eyes. Okay, and in case of heat burns, okay, we need to apply cold running waters to relieve pain and stop further tissue damage, and use a wet dressing of 2 tablespoons of sodium bicarbonate in 1 quart of the warm water is also helpful to reduce the pain, um, and also to stop the further tissue damage. And we also can apply bandage securely but not tightly. And for third-degree burns, the consult a physician immediately is um, essential. We need to do that. Okay, in serious cut, we need to apply direct pressure to the wound or wound area to control the bleeding, and using the hand over a clean compress covering the wound, and call for a physician immediately. Uh, and for the minor cuts, the wash, we have to wash the wound carefully and truly with soap and water. Remove all foreign materials that project from the wound by carefully washing. And we also can apply a clean bandage if necessary. Okay, now I have a few questions. In a few minutes, then we will finish this chapter and you will get access to the exam. Okay, now Charlie is one of the lab staff, is unsure how to correctly dispose of any of the old or unused chemicals. Okay, what should he do in these cases? Okay, ask his supervisor, dump all of the liquids down the sink while running water, or consult the uh, the STS sheets, okay, safety data sheets, or pack all of the chemicals for installations. Okay, what should Charlie do in this case, in these situations? Now I am going to see your answers. Okay, the C, consult the safety data sheets, the first step that we can do, okay, because the STS sheets give most of the information about each chemicals that we have in the lab, right? No, good. Another one, okay, in case of heat burn, which of the following action is not necessary? Apply cold running water or ice water, or ice in water. Use a wet dressing of 2 tablespoons of sodium bicarbonate. Apply bandage. Okay, which is not necessary. Okay, let's see. Okay, D is the correct answers. Okay, apply yogurt or toothpaste. It is old-fashioned application, right? Don't do that. No. Another one, which of following action is not effective to prevent disease transmissions? Okay, using PPE, immunization, ketogenic diet, screening test, medical follow-up, which we discussed yesterday, right? Okay, let's see. Okay, ketogenic diets is not related to these questions, but other precautions need to be taken using PPA, immunization, okay, so screening tests, medical follow-up are essential to prevent a disease transmission. Okay, now, which of the following disease is not vaccine preventable disease? HIV, hepatitis, diphtheria, tetanus, pneumococcal disease. Okay, let's see now. Okay, HIV don't have any vaccine, right? But other have a vaccines, okay? And we can use a vaccine to protect ourselves from such microorganisms. Okay, that should be enough for these chapters. Now, I am going to stay online and you are now free to leave the meetings, Zoom meetings, and then take the exam